to use this part, the swim the sea part of this transfer, to make a very cute sign. And we are basically upcycling a Dollar Tree. I don't know if you've seen these at yours. I've seen them with a couple different options. Like this was the octopus, but I've seen it with coral. I'm trying to think what the other guy was on there, but I've seen it with a couple different options, and it even has a backside if you wanted to do something on the backside. But this is like a cork material, so this is the first time I've ever worked on cork. But you guys, I mean, isn't that super cute? And that just screen, it needs something else. Obviously it could be used just like this, but in my opinion, it needs something else. So it needs some words on it. So we're going to use the swim the sea on here. And then what I've also done is I've picked up another one of their signs. So this is another one, and it's cute. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them. If you don't, you know, if you wanted to have an accompaniment, you didn't have to do anything with it, but sometimes it's fun to pick these up and then use them in the next season to upcycle them, especially just to have on hand. If you never know what they're going to come out with for the next season. But I mean, this one is very cute. There's nothing wrong with it, and I agree with the statement. But I'm actually going to use the back side of it. I can use the front side or the back side, but we're going to use it as a little kind of accompaniment. Now that is a little garish. That wouldn't go together with the project that I have in mind. So, you know, that's why I'm going to use the back side and show you how you could do that. And then if you wanted to flip it around and use this instead, or use this another time, you certainly could. Or if you have a double-sided door, maybe you have a clear glass door like on your back patio or a back screen and porch like I do. And you want to hang something on it, and so you want something on one side, but you want something else on the other side. This would be a perfect solution to that, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that. We're going to use that part of the transfer, and we are going to use chalk paste to paint with. A couple different chalk paste to paint with. I've got some ribbon. We're going to Mod Podge. So we've got a couple things that we're going to be doing, so we need to get started. But I did want to make sure I told you about that and just share that this particular transfer is only available through the 30th. So I told you everything you get. Oh, and it's a flat rate shipping of $5.95. $5.95, you guys. Flat rate shipping of anything else you ever order off my website if you're a club member. You cannot beat that deal. You know, as we all know, shipping right now is absolutely outrageous. So we usually have free products, not free products. We have sales with products that are on special only for our club members. I'm looking at my notes here, and we have a free catalog. That's what I'm trying to tell you. As long as we have an imprint catalog, you'll get one free. So just wanted to let you know and give you one more idea. And I'll try to do a video maybe on Thursday of the ones that I've done so far, just as a reminder. Hey guys, this is the last chance. I like to make sure I remind you guys that, because if you're like me, you lose track of the dates, the day, and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're on summer break, you know, that may happen to you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set my transfer over to the side for a minute while we're getting started, because I want to paint a couple things. I also grabbed these, guys. These are just little wooden cutouts of some sea turtles, and I thought they might be a fun little accent as well. So I grabbed a couple of these. I'm probably going to paint them. I wanted to paint them to kind of go with our fabric. I'll tell you, I went looking on Friday for some fabric to cover this with, because I wanted to do that instead of a napkin. And I really had a hard time finding a napkin. Now, I did have one that I considered. Now I'm looking for it, because I'm thinking, should I do that one instead? This one's going to be a little more colorful, I think. But I need to decide if I'm going to paint my little sea turtles, even though I found fabric that did not have sea turtles on it. I'm thinking that I might paint them. Obviously sea turtles are green, but we're making this fun. So I was going to use my eucalyptus shimmer, but we're making it fun. So I may just paint them, because I wanted to kind of go along with everything we're using. And I think I'm going to use this light color. So this, I could not find a good swatch. Like, I went to the Dollar Tree. They have a lot of fat quarters or rolled up pieces of fabric, small pieces of fabric. I checked Michael's. I checked, who did I check yesterday? I checked Walmart yesterday, and I could not find any like pieces of material or fabric. They call them fat quarters or just rolled up pieces of fabric. It's about, I don't know if it's 12 by 12, 16 by 16. I couldn't even find like a really cute, if I found a cute dish towel, I could have used that for the fabric to cover this with. So when I went to Michael's, they did have this, and I'm hoping, you know what, you guys, it's not going to cover it. I was thinking it was all one piece, but it's not. It's a bunch of pieces. Oh dear, because it is pretty cute, right? That is pretty cute. All right, so what we're gonna do is rethink. So give me a second. And I think what we're gonna do instead, that was the one I was gonna use, but I do have one other option that I came up with. Oh, bear with me, you guys, because I just had it and then I put it back over here when I decided I wasn't gonna use it. I have to tell you, my craft room is an absolute disaster right now. I mean, really bad. I can barely walk around. There it is. Okay. There it is. We'll just use this, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We'll use this. So this is what I'm talking about when I say like a fat quarter or a, this is like 18 by 21 piece of fabric. Now this is at the Dollar Tree. They sell these in lots of different patterns, and I did grab several other ones that I liked, but they did not have really a beach one, but I felt like this one kind of made me feel like the beach because it's kind of like that fabric. So we'll use this fabric to cover it, and then that's going to determine my color scheme, which luckily I already had some, because we're going to do a ribbon. I've already got some ribbon and some fun stuff to use with that. I'm still going to keep, let's see, what color do we want to do then, guys? We don't have to use this color. We could use this color, or we could use, I wonder if that's liquid enough yet. We could use the guava. And I think I'm going to paint these guys. I have some ribbon here to kind of pull the different colors out, but I need to decide because I don't have guava over here now. So maybe we'll just stick with the same color I was going to use. And let's see, maybe we'll paint these guys in this ocean mist color, just so they're like a little accent. And I think we are going to use this color as well for the words. So why don't we just do that? We'll just stick with that. What do you think, guys? Does that sound like a good plan? That's what we'll do. Okay. So I want to go ahead and get the things painted that we're going to paint, and then we'll work on the other. So for this, we can go ahead and Mod Podge this and let it dry, and then, no, we won't. We'll do that all in one step because we're going to Mod Podge and then dry it and then iron it on like I've shown you guys. So I'm going to cut these tags off. Sorry, I said I was clear. Obviously, I'm not as clear as I thought. So I had to go to the grocery store again today. So I ran by Aldi, and hopefully we've got everything we need for at least a couple weeks because, gosh, I don't know about you guys, but it kills me how much you have to spend at the store. And, you know, I've got all males here, so you can imagine how much food gets gone through. How much food gets gone through. And I don't even know, I feel like it's just having a big household, you know, of guys. With guys, they're not even like big eaters like my husband was when he was their age because he was in sports, but still, you know, gotta feed people. Okay, so let's get going. So what we're gonna do on this one, I'm gonna take this off for just a second because and I can put this back on and reuse this. I don't have to, but I can. I do have that like nautical rope too I could use if I wanted. But I think since this one has the twine, we're just going to stick with it. What we're going to do is we're just going to paint around this edge here. And I think I have a small enough paintbrush. I said I had everything I needed, and then I don't think I have my paintbrush. I have been using my paintbrushes a lot the last couple days, so we'll just grab that one. I think that'll work. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to paint along the edge just to give it a little pop of color because it's a little too neutral for me, and you know I like to have a little bit of color. And then I found a ribbon that I think will coordinate with it. I was really coordinating the ribbon with the felt because I thought it was a felt sheet, like a bigger piece, not just small like that. Not sure if that's going to go or if we need to grab our raspberry. Let me see which color we should do. So I want it to go, but maybe I will I just don't have any orange ribbon over here, you guys. I told you my struggle with the ribbon. I'm trying to think if I have anything over there that I saw that had orange that we could do the orange in. I'm thinking. I don't know. But this has a hint. I really want a pop of color, you guys. That has a hint of green in it, so I could potentially paint these in green still. Okay, we're crafting on the fly, y'all. I just can't decide if I don't want to use raspberry, I don't think. It's not the right color for the beachy look we're going for. But the guava really that was my original thought. I just have to see if I have a pop of color. I need that pop of color. Don't y'all agree? All right, give me a second. I thought I had everything prepared. I have been working on getting everything together for the last hour. Just don't know if I have anything in a guava family that would pick it up, that pop of color. And that is really what I want to do. I have orange. I guess I could do orange instead of guava. I do have an orange that would be fun and bright. Guys, do you have the same struggle? The ribbon situation. I like being able to do these little fun bows, but let's see if this works. If I do that, then I definitely need to not use guava, even though that's my fun. You know, I just did something in that color anyway. Could use this one. Let's see. If I add some water to it, I think I can make it some paint. This was a color that I had last year. I had in a single packet, and I bought these cute little containers and thought, oh, I'll just save them in there. And I didn't even think about how small the opening is about trying to get them out. So we might do that instead of my pink. Oh my goodness, you saw me just throw that on the floor? That's why it's gonna take so long. So we might have to let this sit for a minute and paint something else. Let's see. I hope I am going to post this real quick. I'm going to sprinkle the video. I just realized what time it was. Making sure. I hope my buddy, my son has gone to get our little buddy. I'm sure he has. Let me see here. I'm going to pin this real quick for you guys. The link that I mentioned in there. I don't know why I am just having so much trouble with focus this week. Okay, we're going to let that sit for a minute, guys, and we're going to put it over here, and we'll go ahead and paint these guys. And open this, and we'll go ahead and do our Mod Podge. That way we can be making progress. So this is going to take a little bit of time again. I'm doing projects that are taking a little bit longer. Yesterday it took longer than I planned. I didn't think it would, and today I knew it would take a little bit longer, but tomorrow I have to work, so tomorrow night's going to be a really quick project, like last week. So this is so pretty. Look at this, guys. Isn't that pretty though? That's kind of beachy, isn't it? Don't you think that's beachy? It reminds me of sand dollars, so I think that'll be all right. I think that will be all right. Now, you can do one of two things. You can either cover this completely, and if you do, this is a, this has a glitter on it, and what I usually suggest when you're doing that to get rid of the glitter is if you spray some water on it and scrape it. Use a scraper, like I've shown you before how you can do with the chalk paste. But if you spray water on this and scrape it, it will get the glitter off for the most part. And you could even take your little sanding block and go over that and make sure that you have a flat surface to put your, to do your Mod Podge project on, okay? But I'm just gonna flip it over. For this purpose, it's gonna work fine to flip it over. So let's go ahead and paint our little sea turtles. This again, these were also at the Dollar Tree, and they had a couple different creatures. I'm not sure, I said creatures. I don't remember which ones, but I just grabbed the sea turtles because I love them. I am going to paint these using, I'll probably have to get another paintbrush. I'm going to paint these using, yes, I am, our Eucalyptus Shimmer, which is such a pretty color. It's a very light green color. It's a very greenish blue color though. I'm just going to paint them because I just want them to stand out a tiny bit. I could use them, leave them natural color since the board has natural color on it too, but you know what? Why not? Why not, you guys? I can't believe it's 5 o'clock already. I dropped him off earlier today again. I'm getting to take him there about 12:30 instead of 1. Which is a big difference, actually. It should make a big difference, but I've had to go to the grocery store yesterday and today. Hey, Lou, how you doing? It's so nice to have you on here with me. We're making a Dollar Tree upcycle. I am upcycling today. I hope you're having a great day. So these are some little, I was just looking down painting, so I didn't see when you got on here, but these are just a little packet of some little wood cutouts that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just painting them in our shimmer eucalyptus because it's a really pretty bluish green color, just to give them a little something extra. And this, I'm just using my chalk paste, you guys, as paint. Now I could water it down if I wanted it to be thinner, but I want them to be, since I'm using the shimmer, and this is a light color anyway, I want it to really show up. So I'm not watering it down at all, okay? But you can, that's what we're getting ready to do, is water down to paint the other sign in a minute. The other Dollar Tree sign. All of this is pretty much a Dollar Tree upcycle because I'm using a lot of Dollar Tree products tonight. I should have put that in the description because that's what it is. That's pretty much what it is. I love upcycling things, finding stuff that's cute and just turning it into something even cuter. So tomorrow I'll probably just share, I haven't decided what I'm going to share tomorrow. I think I'm probably going to share another quick project with our Creative Kickstart transfers. And because I'm showing this one and that because they're only available until June the 30th. And I want to make sure you guys have plenty of ideas between now and then. And if you're in my VIP group, after I get off the video, I am going to put something together, a post together for there, showing the sign that I did yesterday with a couple different twists on it. So I was inspired by some other designers to create the sign that I did yesterday, and I wasn't happy with how it turned out, so I'm working on it to improve it and make it to a point where I love it. But I like to show you guys some other ideas, but I can only do that in my VIP group. So if you're not a member of my VIP group, please just type VIP in the comments and I'll make sure I get that link to you so that you can hop on over there if you're interested in seeing some other ideas. I used the Creative Kickstart over there, or yesterday, and I'm going to probably demonstrate that again tomorrow on another upcycle project, just so you guys can have an idea. And these are different variations of how much what they look like, these little guys right now. Just going to add a little bit more to this one. And I think they're going to be super cute. And that'll be dry in 5 minutes or less. They actually kind of already feel dry. So if you can see those on there. We're going to just use those as a couple little accents. And remember, I like to work in threes when I'm doing that. So we are going to set these aside and let them dry. And we're going to go to work on our Mod Podge. Okay, let me put that over there and that over there. Okay, so I'm just using the regular, it's actually, this is a gloss, but it doesn't matter because I'm just using this to adhere. So they make a matte, they make gloss, they make sparkle. I haven't gotten the sparkle yet, or I don't know why I haven't, but I haven't. But we're just using what I have on hand. And I believe the Dollar Tree even sells. I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure the Dollar Tree even sells Mod Podge, you guys. So actually I want to take this off right quick too, because I'm going to flip it around. So these come with these nice little jute hangers, and they almost have like an eyelet, like what you have on a shoestring on them as well. So they're nice to be able to reuse for these purposes. So I'm just going to, I already took my sanding block kind of to it a little bit because it felt like it had some stuff on it, but I'm just covering this with fabric so it doesn't matter. And again, this is from the Dollar Tree. The other side, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not working for what I want to use it for, and I like to be able to have the options to upcycle. If you had a glass door where it was two-way and you wanted to hang a sign on it, but you'd be able to see it from the front and the back, that's why I'm showing you on the back. You could have this side peeking through one side of the glass door, and you can have the side that we're getting ready to use it for, the sign we're making on the other. So for example, my back, ooh, that's got a big old hunk of something in it. Ooh, one of those. Oh, I hate when that does that. I don't know if that does that to you guys. Oh, I don't like it when it does that. It's like a nasty hard string in there. But my screened-in porch it's a glass door that leads out to it. And so I could very easily, the project that we're doing today with the club transfer, I would put on the side of the screen porch the outside part because it's more nautical out there, And then this side would be showing on the inside, and that would be fun for summer, for the summer decorating. These are just great to grab also because they just make good surfaces for upcycling in the future as well. So sometimes I'll grab extra and just have them on hand. I actually have some, I've seen lots of different shapes. I grabbed some of the flip-flops, but I haven't decided exactly how I want to use them yet. But if I don't use them this year, I'll tuck them away in my closet, and guess what? I'll use them on something next year. I'm sure there will be something fabulous. So all I'm doing, now whatever this material is, which I believe it's just like MDF, but whatever this material is, it is absolutely soaking up my Mod Podge, you guys. And the purpose of this, I don't want it to stay wet anyway. We're going to dry it. I'm going to show you guys that process of how you can adhere the way that I like to adhere fabric or napkins. Now this is a very beachy feel with this fabric. If I wanted to do something a little more, let's see, how do I say this? Maybe conservative, or maybe a little more sophisticated there. That might be the better word. Then I could use, and I'll show you what it is. I actually got this ribbon that we're going to use at the Dollar Tree as well. It's very pretty. It has a little saying on it. It says, "Meet me by the sea." It had a coordinating napkin that went with it, and I could do that instead. And I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to look at it again and see which one I think I like better. Originally, when I was planning on doing this, I wanted to do it with a pop of color, and I wanted to make it fun because you know that's me. I love doing that. But I think this might look nice this way too. I might just have to find me another one of these boards. The one that we're going to use with the cork on it. Okay, so the Mod Podge is on there. These are just reusable sticks, or you can throw it away if you don't want to deal with it. And they even sell those at the Dollar Tree. Pretty much everything we're using except for the paste and the transfer today is probably going to be something you could get at the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this. I'm going to dry my Mod Podge. I have it completely covered. And I'm going to dry it, and I'm going to grab my iron, because that's the process that I've shown you guys before. A little tip, a little trick. And these are already dry, you guys. Aren't they cute? Can you see the shimmer? I just love them. I'm trying to think what else they had. I love seahorses, but I don't remember if they had seahorses. Seahorses are, I just always love those. I hope that you guys are having a good Tuesday. Like I said, I spent at least an hour at Aldi, and that cut into my time this afternoon. And then puppy came home, not feeling well. I had to put the groceries away, all that fun stuff. And then getting my project together up here. So I was hoping to get on here, as always, a little earlier, but didn't work out that way. I guess for whatever reason, this is supposed to be the time. Today's weather is actually not bad. It's only 85, and we have a nice breeze. And the humidity wasn't as awful. So our storm that came through last night actually helped everything. Between the rain, we desperately needed that, and then it actually cooled it off a little bit, so I'm thankful for that. So that's about dry already, almost. It's a little tacky still, and the reason I'm drying it all the way, especially if you're working with the napkin, this is in my opinion, this is the better way to use the Mod Podge and decoupage, because you're dealing with a dry surface, and it doesn't try to grab your napkin or your fabric, and it's hard to get the wrinkles out of a napkin with Mod Podge without tearing it when it's wet. So this is a much, in my opinion, a better way of doing it. So you just want to dry it. I really wish I had some better ribbon. I've looked and I just didn't find any. And I just don't want to buy it all. I think Hobby Lobby has the best ribbon. It's just I haven't been able to get there for a while. So let me show you the other napkin that we can consider using that I think would look nice as well, but I'm not even sure if it's full napkin. Oh, it is. So this is the other that we could use. We could either use this fabric or this napkin as our, for our surface, for back here. Which do you guys think would be better? Let me know in comments what you think. What do you think, Miss Lou? The fabric or the napkin? I think I'm leaning towards the fabric, but the napkin is super cute too. And I did pin in comments the link to the club so that if you have any questions about anything. So that's one option, you guys. And then this is the other. And we're gonna put it with this. We're painting the edge of this color, a little pop of color. And then we're putting the word swim the sea on here. And we're gonna have our little turtles on here. So I feel like this is a little too busy, and that's why I'm kind of leaning away from it, even though it's pretty. You could do it just as easily with a little more sophisticated. But since I've already got I've got the octopus and I've got my turtles, I'm feeling like it might just be a little too much. So I'm gonna get my iron that I forgot to grab and plug that in so that we can do the Mod Podge technique. And we'll have to do the glue gun. We got all kinds of stuff today, y'all. Using all the tools. Now remember, I've told you this is my little craft iron. I keep it up here in my craft room. It's just basically a travel iron. I've never put water in it. You wouldn't want water in your craft iron. But it heats up nice and hot. I use it for heat setting little small things. And I use it for anything that I'm doing crafting wise that I need something like this. I'm going to use this for a second. And then I'm just going to take my fabric and I'm going to place it as close to I can. Now, it is a little less work if you're using a napkin, and if I had found one that was super cute and that would work, I probably would have. But like I said, I just really couldn't find. You could find tissue paper, a napkin, any of that kind of things. But I really was going for fabric and I just couldn't find anything else. With the fabric, we will have to trim around this back. With a napkin, you just use your sanding block and take off the extra. So I'm going to try to keep it as close to the edge as I can. And I need a piece of parchment paper, remember. I'm going to do that because we don't want to scorch our fabric. And I'm going to use that to cover the top of the fabric. And so what's happened now is this is dry, right? This is dry, but basically it's glue. It's dry, and now I can put the napkin on here, I can put this on here, I can move it around, and I can do whatever I want to it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of wrinkles in here. I'm going to take care of that by using the iron, but the iron also reactivates the Mod Podge and makes the glue adhere. So that's why it's a win-win. Ribbon out of the way. So that's heated up already, and I always start in the middle. Get my cord on here. I always start in the middle when I'm doing this. That way I can make sure it's ironed straight. I'm trying to do this without burning myself. So, got my whole area covered with my fabric, making sure I'm feeling the edges. And then I've got my parchment paper on top of it. I'm going to start in the middle and work my way, push outward. So I'm basically ironing my fabric, or if it was tissue paper or a tissue, a napkin. Remember, if you're using a napkin, you want to get down to the first ply, just one ply of the napkin, get rid of the extra. And I'm just going to press this out, and I'm going to get the wrinkles out, but I'm also going to reactivate my Mod Podge to get it to adhere. And it really doesn't take a lot to do that. Couple passes and then I'm usually good. Especially if you're using a little piece of wood like this, because it will tend to make it kind of warp. So you don't want to spend too long on it or have the heat on there too long. But once I've done that, I'm just going to pull it on the edges and see. Do you see how that's now stuck? I just reactivated my glue. oh, I got a wrinkle here. Oh, I don't know if I can fix it. Let's see if I can fix it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal if I can't, just because I obviously didn't, because I'm going to apply a little heat here and see if I can make it pliable, because, nope, I think it's going to be stuck with it, you guys. That's okay. This is going to be the background anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But you want to try to work outwards. I don't think I'm going to, I don't know. Every project this week so far. And always pay attention to the edges to make sure it's on there, because you want to make sure when you go to cut it that you've got all the way to the edge. So if you've never used this technique, I highly advise it. This is the first time I've ever done it and actually had wrinkles in it. So just work from the middle and push out to try to make sure you don't have wrinkles. All right, let me turn this off and get this iron out of here so I don't burn myself. Keep her back. Now I'm just going to take my scissors, my fabric scissors, and we're just going to trim all around this edge of the sign, okay? Because in my opinion, it's much more fun to craft with friends, and I just love sharing my love and joy of crafting. If I can instruct you or entertain you or inform you or just hang out with you, I love it. And you never know what's going to happen. I'm willing to be your guinea pig. If you ever have an idea you'd like me to try out, send me a message, or yeah, send me a message, and I'll be glad to see what I can do. If I'd used a napkin, I'd have been done by now. So that's all we do. We just trim around the edge. And this is just going to be our background. I'm not going to do anything else to this. I could put some wax on here, and then I could put a transfer on here if I wanted. But I don't think I am. I don't know. I may rethink that too. I may decide to put the rest of the transfer on here. Who knows? You never know what I might do. Let me get all this out of the way. This is why my room's a mess, because I just thrown it. We're going to set that aside for a minute, and now we're going to bring this up and see if my paint has, or if my chalk paste has turned into paint. So this is just old chalk paste that I had last year that I saved from a single packet, and I thought would be a good idea to put in here. Let's see if it worked. If not, we're going to have to grab a color from somewhere else. No, it's not. I don't think I am. I thought it would be a good idea to put it in here, and I didn't think about how small the opening is. And I thought it would be nice and airtight and it would work, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is, you guys. And I forgot to, I should have added that water to it yesterday. But really I hadn't decided what project. I'm going to leave it aside. We're going to go with it. We're just going to go with this for right now. So this is orange peel. And I'm going to spray a little water in the lid. And we're just going to make a little bit of a paint. I'm not going to do it super opaque. Actually, I will do it super opaque. I don't want it to be real translucent. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm just turning our chalk paste into a paint right now. And I kind of get lazy and use a lid. You can do that. You can turn any of ours into a chalk paste. And if you have a jar, you can use a lid. The only thing I tell you is make sure you only use distilled water on anything in your jar. If you're putting chalk paste back in your jar or it's exposing it moisture to your jar, only use distilled water, because the water, you know, the tap water has impurities in it and it will grow mold in there. I have done it, believe me. Much to my chagrin, I did. Okay, so I just turned that into a paint. And let's see if I can do this without getting it on the, I did not do anything to prepare the wood. So I'm hoping that it's just gonna take it. And I'm gonna try to go slow enough that I don't get it up on the chalk. Or not the chalk, the cork, because this is like made out of cork. Let me know in comments if you've seen this cute type sign. I have seen a couple different patterns, but I don't know. If you don't live anywhere near the beach, you might not have. I really don't know how that works. Like I haven't been to a Dollar Tree over near the mountains, so I don't know. Would they still have the beachy decor? Possibly. I don't know. I've been to lots of Dollar Trees, but none of them really far away from the beach. I don't know. If you were in the middle of the country where there is no ocean, would it still? I don't know. Because people like beach decor everywhere, so I really don't know. I'm curious. If you know, put it in comments. I'd love to know. If you live far away from the beach, or any body of water, I suppose. Obviously this is a beach, but with the octopus, I don't think you're going to find that in a lake unless there's something else I don't know about. So we're just painting this just because I want to add a little pop of fun color. You can choose any color you want. I didn't have to. I could have just done one of the blues to stay kind of, you know, in the family of my inspiration piece. Find an inspiration piece. You could easily leave it this color too if you like the neutrals. If you like very neutral, this is certainly pretty that way too. And you could just choose the chalk paste that your color that you're going to do your words in. You could just choose that to be a pop of color, or you could choose that to be a neutral. I'm actually going to use Ocean Mist for the color, but it would look great in white also. Just something so it shows up, but you could also do, I imagine that if you used the dune color, that's like the color of sand, that would probably work. I'll get it off my, I could have used the eucalyptus on the edge just to make it coordinate with the, and you don't even have to add the other little guys to it. You didn't have to. It's got enough going on with it with the octopus. I just like to show you options. I don't think they have any more of these left at mine because I've had this for quite a while. I probably got this, where are we, the end of June? I probably got this in May sometime. Now, once I'm done using this, making it paint, what's in the lid, I'm just going to put the lid back on my jar and it's going to dry. That's why I'm using the distilled water. I'm not wasting any. I have to kind of go slow, and I apologize for looking down so much, you guys. I hope that if I miss any of your comments, don't worry. I always go back at the end after the live's over and I respond to them. So what do you think so far? This color that I'm using, I wanted to use guava, but I don't have a large jar of the guava, and I had a little small leftover one, and I was going to use it as paint, and it didn't water down quick enough. It wasn't working. I do have a packet, but I didn't want to waste it by squeezing it out right now. So we're just going to go with orange, and I didn't have a guava colored ribbon to kind of accent in with it, because we're going to do a little ribbon. If you ever have any question about any of the supplies that I use or any of the techniques, feel free to send me a message or ask me in comments. I don't mind sharing with you guys. That's what I'm here for. I try to be as transparent as possible so you guys know where I get things and what I'm doing. And I'm more of a teacher, so I like showing you guys the technique and telling you about it. Isn't that cute? And I think we're just going to go with the one coat, you guys. I could make it darker if I wanted with another coat, but I'm just going to let it, as long as I didn't miss anything, I'm just going to go with the one coat. So, just trying to make sure I don't have any. I'm really bad about cleaning my jars. And sometimes the lids get hard, so I'm just going to wash that later. And hopefully that's not going to dry the lid to it, because I had some on the edge. Okay, so now we're done painting. I'm going to pull this aside. Get this out of the way. All right, now we're cooking. All right, so let's go ahead and dry this out a little bit. Speed up the drying process. It shouldn't take long because it's just chalk paint at this point, and chalk paint dries so quickly. That's why I do it on the lives anyway. And I just love I like the matte, the consistency of it, as opposed to some of the acrylics that can be a little too glossy for me. Okay, so what we're going to do now, put my little guys over there. We are just going to use the middle part of this transfer, but I'll probably have to lay the whole thing on there. I have used this transfer once before. I have two of these. So I've used one of this one once before, but I am going to fuzz it at least one time because I don't want it to be super sticky. And I am just going to kind of place the words. We're only using the top part that says, or the middle part that says swim the sea. And I'm going to see if I can line this up. I don't trust my lining up skills very much after yesterday. I've been doing pretty good, but after yesterday, I'm not as confident. Let's see, I might want to come up higher. So I want to see as much of this as possible, and I'm a little concerned a little concerned. We might have to use a darker blue now that I'm thinking of it. I'm a little concerned that my octopus, the words the sea, are not going to show up as well as I want them to because of that. So I might change the color of the chalk paste to a little bit darker. I like the idea of the white, the lighter color, the white or the light blue, but all right, I hope my lines are I have a hard time when it's upside down lining it up. This is what takes me the longest, guys. This and the color choices always takes me the longest. Okay, so I'm just going to press down this area here that we're going to do. Make sure I'm not pressing anywhere else because I don't want it to blow up my chalk paste from the corner. If I decide I need to paint more around it, I can always go back and add it. And I'm just going to use up to here. And I'm going to put this because I am afraid I won't pay attention to what I'm doing and I'll go further. So I'm going to put that as a reminder to me. But I'm going to press the area down really firmly that I am going to chalk. We're just going to do swim the sea. I really think this is going to be, it would look great on there with the top part, but I'm afraid it's not going to show up. So we're going to go with another color blue. And I think we're going to go with this color blue. I think this is the color we're going to do. All right, let's go for it. So this is just very similar to, no, I don't want that one. I'm sorry. Let's see. I think it was it this one? Yeah, I'm going to do this one. So this is a color that's very similar to Lakeshore. And I'm just going to grab my squeegee. A mini squeegee, and we're going to apply it and just press down. This is cork, so it should grab it, but if it doesn't, like I said, I've used this transfer before. If it doesn't, just make sure you're careful. And we're just going to apply our chalk paste. And I'm going to hope and pray my project turns out better than yesterday. And you can apply it directly to your silk screen. So I use ribbon, material, accessories, napkins, those as my inspirations a lot of times, you guys, for colors. Unless I have nothing that's going on it at all, then I just kind of have to think about how I feel about it or what I want it to look like. If I want it to go with my decor, or if I want it to just have a certain look. I hear this bubbling a little bit, so I'm hoping it's not moving around. One way to minimize that though, guys, is to work in one direction. And I'm not, I'm going right, left, up and down. So hopefully, if you hear that happening, you should stay in one direction. Hopefully. Okay, I'm a mess. Messy crafter today. Now this is just chalk paste, so it is gonna come off, even if it looks like it's staining right now. As I get it wiped or wash my hands, it'll come off. All right, guys, so we're gonna do my favorite part, the peel and reveal. And I'm hoping that it turned out the way I wanted to. Look at that, guys. Yay, hooray, hooray. I was worried I was on a streak. Awesome. Look at that, guys. I'm glad I went with the blue because I really think the light blue, the ocean mist, would have washed away on our little octopus. I know that they made one in coral. They did one in the coral, like a piece of coral. I've seen that, but I can't remember what else, if they did any else. Okay, so I'll put that to the side. And now that is done, and as you can see, that's going to coordinate with this, right? If I wanted to, I could put like live in the sunshine, drink the wild air. I could put that on this back one if I wanted to. I haven't decided at this point if I'm going to, so I'm just going to leave it. I'll let you know. After I get off, if I decide after I get off, I may do it. But this is what we got going so far, okay? Now, obviously, I'm going to have to poke holes in here again. So let's see, I have something for this, for our little, because they're going to hang together. They're going to kind of be together like this. They'll just look like a background piece like this when I go to hang them up. I don't want to mess with that too much. I'm afraid I'm going to touch the wet chalk. But we'll go ahead and make our ribbon, and we'll I'm going to plug in my glue gun. We'll make our ribbon, and then we'll adhere our little sea turtles to it. And if I don't want to put the sea turtles on there, I could put them on here as well. So that would be fun too. I think that would be fun too. Let's see if that got big enough. I have one of these little like pokers. Hopefully I can get my sign thing back in there. Just enough to get it in. No? Yes. There we go. That's all set. So let's start with our ribbon. So look, this is another thing I wanted to show you guys. So look at this. I shared with you a couple weeks back, maybe a month ago. I found this in green when I went to the Outer Banks. I had found this in green and I had not seen it in our store, but then I've seen it since then in a natural color and this white color. But how cool is that, you guys? Doesn't that remind you of kind of like cool? I don't know. I think it could be used for so many different things. So, and again, save your twine. Save your twine. This is just called mesh ribbon. It's not wired, but it definitely has some form to it. So I think that's going to look cute with it. This is another ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. It says, "Meet me by the sea." That was in with all that coastal stuff, like these things, in where all that was. And I need this for tying my... so we are going to make a little bow. Not a big one, just a little one to go with this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this so I can have an idea how big I need to cut everything else. But I just want a variety of texture. I don't know if I'm going to do one or two of those. We're going to see. We're going to see. And it'll go up here near the top of our... All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these straight. I usually dovetail them, but because of the way I'm doing this I'm not going to. I'm going to keep them straight edges. And I'm definitely cutting two of this one. And I'm just trying to find different sizes and different textures of bows with a similar color palette and then one pop of color. So that's what my goal is with making this messy bow. And I'm going to put them like this. Okay. And I found this too. I have this really cool. See how that, I don't know, it just all kind of felt like it needed to be together. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll grab a little bit of the shimmer because, you know, the ocean, we have the ocean shimmering. So I think I'm going to throw that in there too. That'll probably be at the very back. Kind of bring it all together. So we have blues so far. I wish I had one more like that had like multiple with all of them colors, but I didn't. So I think with this one, I'm going to cut one. I'm going to cut it a little smaller because that's very bright, and I'm actually going to cut it in half, you guys, because I don't have a thin one. I'm just working with what I have in my stash, you guys. You don't always have to go out and buy something new. But if I had thought about this when I was at the Dollar Tree, I would have looked to see if they had like a thin orange, and I don't think they did. I did not have that on my list, so it was gone out of my mind. If I don't make a list, I don't know if you guys are like that. It was gone out of my mind. So now I just got a little pop of color. And I'm actually going to use a piece of this jute to make the bow. I'm just squeezing it together in the middle, you guys. Let's see if I might have to cut these smaller because they're pretty heavy. So I might have to cut it smaller. Cut a little bit off of that. Let's cut a little bit off of that. I might even alternate them. Let's see. This. And then this. Then this. And then tie it with this. I guess I could put this in the middle. One piece of this in the middle. I'm getting all kinds of fun textures here. And we're just going to pinch it together. And this is where I need one more hand, guys. One more hand. And if the orange was a wired ribbon, it would probably work better, but it's not. I'll have to finagle it a little bit once I get it together. So I'm just going to pinch it, tie, go around this. I just do it. This is where I need one more hand. That'll work. That'll work, right? That'll work, guys. Enough so I can get it. There we go. That'll be a double knot. And then I'll just kind of mess around with it, get it in the middle, which I did not do, and then kind of play around with it to make it. See enough of the white. I want to see the white. And if I wanted to cut this off, I could, but I don't mind it showing because it's kind of adds to the same, ties it in. So that's just a fun little, I might cut this just a little smaller. A fun little messy bow. A little bit smaller now that it's on there. Okay. And we're going to glue it to the top. We're just going to glue it right here, I think. Yep. Hold that in place till it dries. But I did grab this, so now I have it in the green, I have it in the white, and I did grab it in the neutral, like a same, like this color, like a tan color. And I'm going to use that on another fun beach project next week. Next week, I think. Next week. Because this week I want to do a few more patriotic projects with you. So tomorrow will probably be a creative kickstart, and then Thursday we'll start some. I think we'll start patriotic. I do have more beachy stuff to do with you guys, but that'll probably be, it may not be, unless I can get some videos, it'll definitely be after first week of July. So there's that. See how cute. Now I could put these on here. Oh, I got it. I could put these on here. See what that looks like. I don't know. That's kind of pretty by itself. Or I could put these. I hate not to use them. I could put one there. Ooh, that might be fun. Like they're swimming along a line. One there, one there, one there. Ooh, that might be cute. Scooch this up a little. And I'm actually going to glue this sign to this. If I decide, glad that was dry. If I decide I want to do the back side of it, I can always do that. But I think I'm going to glue it in place so that it's actually laying the way I want it to lay. So that when I go to hang it up, it's laying the way I want it to lay. So we'll glue the sign first. Just going to put a dab of glue back there. Just to kind of hold it in place. Oh, my glue. I might have to grab another glue. Just to kind of, oh, it would help if I put it on the glue. Whew. One of those weeks. No, I had one of those weeks last week. I don't want one of those weeks this week. I don't. So this is just one more way to use our transfer. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put those other words on here now because I decided to glue it on it. If I was just letting it kind of free flow, I might put those other words behind it, but since I'm not going to use that on there. All right, I think that's in place. So now let's get our little turtles. You don't have to do all those, guys. This is extra, but that's me. I'm a little extra. I use Gorilla Glue in my glue gun, the Gorilla Glue sticks. It's just another little fun element. I could put them like this up here, but I think I'm going to do it this way. I don't know if octopus and turtles are friends, but in my world they are, so. You know, do what makes you happy. When you craft, that's what crafting and creating is about. Doing what makes you happy. What do you think, guys? I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Now this is a one-time surface. It's not going to come off unless I were to paint all the way over it, which I certainly could, but I don't want to. I think we're good. I'm going to unplug this so my glue doesn't drip all over my desk. I think we're good. I could tack this down too with a piece of glue if I wanted, or a spot of a glue, not a piece of glue. But that's what we got, guys. What do you think? If you like this project, if you'll hit that heart button, I would so appreciate it. Let me know in comments what you think about the project. What do you think of the little turtles? Are they cute? We're just going to pretend they're a little school of turtles. Is that what they call? I can't remember if that's what you call turtles, school of them or not, like with fish. I think that is super cute. Wouldn't that look awesome on your door? Now, if you're going to put this anywhere where it would get any kind of weather, you guys, and then there's the bow. You can see it up close. I hope you like that bow. everything I used was pretty much Dollar Tree, except for the orange ribbon. I don't know. I've had it for a long time, so I don't know where that went, where it came from. They do have some cute ribbons there. They really do. They even have wired ribbons. This just doesn't happen to be wired. You can mess around with them a little bit to get it to lay the way you want it. But that's the bow. And that's the project. What was I saying before that? I don't remember what I was saying before that. Anyway, if you're going to use this outside, I think I'm going to have to put it, that's going to bug me because it's moving a little bit too much for my taste. Tap that down. If you would put this out where it might, not outside, but if you were putting it somewhere where it might get a little weather, then I would highly suggest sealing it with just using a spray clear coat sealant. And if you need to know what type to use, I'm happy to answer that for you. Just send me a question. And I'll be glad to send you a message with that. But just because to protect it, because obviously, even though this is permanent, it's one-time use, it's permanent in here now. You know, I'm not going to say it couldn't get damaged if it was getting hit with rain or something like that a lot. So I'm sure that even if it got weathered, that it would just look more fabulous. It would look like an old beach house. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. I'm so glad that this project turned out better than yesterday's, and now I'm going to get back to working on yesterday's and trying to fix that up.